Welcome to another episode of Despite the Challenges, a show where we showcase people with their impeding circumstances and life challenges. Not only they turn around their own lives, but they go out in the community doing amazing things and inspire others. I have such an amazing guest in my studio today, this young lady, Rosa Santiago. She, at the age of 7 or 8, had gone through some medical challenges as she had lost her eyesight with optic nerve damage. And today, she is not only an author, an amazing businesswoman, and she keeps inspiring people she touches. So let's hear more about her story directly from Rosa. Rosa Santiago, welcome to Despite the Challenges.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate that.
Yes, so tell us a little bit, who is Rosa Santiago, and you about yourself, and what are you up to?
Well, just a little bit about myself. I was born blind. Through the years, my mother took me to many different places, hospitals in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, to see what was it that I had. Finally, they diagnosed me with optic nerve damage, which means your nerves are basically dead. They're damaged, so you cannot, you cannot see, and it's connected to your brain, so it's very delicate. But throughout my life, I've always been a very independent type of person, always with a great spirit, always wanting to try new things and have new challenges in my life. So I grew up in regular public schools, and I educated myself through many books and many people who I admire, who have taught me lots of things of what I know today that have inspired me to want to do business and to want to write. So it's always been for me lots of, there have been challenges, but I've always managed to really rise above them.
Wonderful, fantastic. Tell us a little bit your journey in the school. You taught yourself, and I mean, it's just so difficult for people to comprehend sometimes.
Yes.
A person with some sort of challenge like that,
Right.
what they would have to overcome or endure. Give us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, when I was little, in public schools, I used my cane, which is a stick that I used to sort of help me, guide me around the school. So I would memorize, we would go to the school before actual school started so I can learn my way to my classes. That's how I did it, so that I could know where all my classes were, since I had classes, different classes in the day. So that helped me tremendously to get around. Also, I just, learned everything, and my teachers were sometimes, they felt bad for me sometimes, but I would help them overcome that by being as normal with the other students as possible. So sometimes they would call me Little Devil, but that was okay. So that sort of told me they accepted me as a person, not because of my visual impairment or anything like that. So it was actually good.
It's actually good. I like that. I like that. So, I mean, most people would not think of that you had to make that extra effort to get to the school before the whole, the rush comes in.
Right.
And get yourself situated.
So I could feel comfortable.
Yes, yes. So your journey as from school leading to as being more independent as a young adult.
Yes. Actually, when I got older and I went to a school called Joseph Kahn Training Center for the Blind, which is a school that teaches blind people to be independent. So I learned how to cook, I learned how to wash clothes, how to clean floor, things that I would live. When I became independent, moving on my own, I would know how to take care of myself, take care of the responsibilities, everyday responsibilities. That's what the school taught me, as well as other skills that I needed to go out into the world and be successful.
Wow.
And I wanted that very badly, because I wanted to live a life as normally as possible, doing the things like everyone else. And that's, the school really was a turning point for me in that way.
It sounds amazing, and a lot of time people give up having some sort of impediment, and that's the story like yours. Are so inspiring, and I want to hear more.
Yes, there is a lot more, trust me, but I know.
So tell us, yes, please tell us.
But yes, after JKTC, which we call it for short, I learned all those things. I eventually found, got into a relationship and got married, and I was able to do all those things. I was able to take care of my home. I was able to take care of myself. There were challenges, of course, we all have them, but I tried to always rise above my circumstances, to do more,
Wonderful.
to be better, to thrive in things and not just give up and say, you know what, I can't do this because I'm blind. Those words would never cross my lips. I would always say, where there's a will, there's a way.
That's so powerful. I could just talk about that for a long time. Where there's a will, there is a way.
Yeah,
This is such an inspiring, motivating force for anyone to overcome.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, if that's okay, I want to ask, when you had that self-motivating spirit, were there people around you who would sort of discourage you or
Yes. There was a lot of discouragement around me.
coming from outside?
Yes, coming from outside. Even my own husband would discourage me lots of times. I was always a hardworking person. I like to work. I like to do a lot of things. But sometimes there were comments he would say like, "Don't expect me to support you on this," or "You can't do that. How are you going to do that? That's impossible." Those words I don't like those words. Those words mean defeat. They signal for me just like push yourself back and don't work. Don't do anything because you can't see.
So in other words, at every step of the way, you didn't want your impairment to be a defeating.
No, I never wanted it to be an obstacle in the way of my progress in everything that I was doing in my life. I never wanted my blindness to be an excuse not to try something, not to do something. I mean, I've done things like water skiing, mountain climbing, hiking. I've done things in my life. I've pushed myself, even rock climbing. I've pushed myself to do things that a person would say, "You can't do that. How are you going to do that? You're blind," right? And I've heard this from people who were supposed friends of mine, but they weren't encouraging because they would tell me, you know, that's too much. Like, how are you going to do that? But every time someone would tell me, "I can't, you can't," that would push me even harder.
Even harder. So the skepticism was always around you.
Always.
Always. So overcoming not only your own challenges that you have to personally, but at the same time the other people throw at you. So that is really, really inspiring, that to not be discouraged.
No.
And go on, and you went on starting a business and write a book. Talk about your book. I just want to give, for our audience, Live Your True Essence. Learn 12 secrets that will empower your mind, balance your body, and enlighten your spirit. Congratulations,
Thank
Rosa.
you.
This is amazing. Talk about what inspired you to write.
Well, I had a lot to say about myself that I wanted to communicate to people who have challenges like myself, or people who just have challenges of any kind. I wanted to reach people to show them that despite the circumstances in our lives or the situations that we go through, and I've gone through many, I have always said that when we put our mind and our focus to do something exceptional in our life that we really truly want, it can happen for us. It doesn't matter what situation we're experiencing. It doesn't matter how many odds are against us. If we really want something and we want to accomplish something, it can happen. It's just a matter of how we look at things, how we focus on things. If your focus is always on negative things, on what we can't do, on the things that are difficult or seem insurmountable, then we are really setting ourselves back from really achieving something wonderful in our lives. And I reach out to those people that think they can't do something because maybe they just had an accident and now they have a disability, or maybe they went through something really powerful in their lives that really discouraged them. There's still hope. So my book is about hope. My book is about meeting your challenges head on and just keep going.
Just listening from you is inspiring. You just not hold anything back. A lot of time, I myself had been through auto accident, and over years it has injuries have become a little bit hard to handle. But that shouldn't injure your spirit.
No.
Right? So you have to find that motivation inside you. I could feel that. I could feel that. I wish these type of inspirational story of people we hear more.
Exactly.
I want to take you a little bit into very different directions. So it's growing up. I mean, it's enough. It's enough to teenage and being a young adult. There's so many challenges. What was something that really was harder for you to find yourself? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, there have been experiences. I remember when I was in high school, I was accepted to be in a play in school.
Okay.
And at the time in high school, I was going through a lot of emotional things with my body, with myself. As teenagers, we start to grow and we have these things. But my thing, for a time, there was a period where my blindness was something I abhorred with all my heart. I despised it. I felt like my blindness was just a curse from God. And I went through something very hard because I couldn't accept myself for who I was.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons I call my book Live Your True Essence, because you have to find yourself.
You have to find yourself. Yes. Please walk us through.
Yes. So in that time where I felt just so down on myself about my blindness, like what can I do? I did a lot of things, but at the same time I was like, I felt limited. I felt limited. And because of the blindness, it was because of the blindness, not anything else. I felt limited. And in the play, the person that was the head of the play, who was playing the main part of the play, he asked me, it was the Bye Bye Birdie. I don't know if you've heard of the play Bye Bye Birdie, but this play was, he was the main character.
Okay.
And he wanted me to be his #1 fan and to sing with him because I do a little bit of singing. So he wanted me to be his #1 fan. And it was like an opportunity to dance and sing and do things in the play that required me to not just be still. So I had to move, okay? And then all of a sudden he asked me, and I turned him down. I said, no way, I'm not doing that because I can't see. How do I know when to dance towards you? I felt so lost in that moment. It was an opportunity in front of the whole school to show my talent, to show that I could do things, and I just rejected it because I rejected myself. And in that moment, I never felt so vulnerable to just be like, I wanted to do it so badly, and I just didn't do it because of myself, because I said, I can't, I'm blind. Looking back today, turning back the clock, I would have done it and then some, because I know that I could dance. I know that I can sing. I have so much more confidence and know that I would have been able to do it with no problem. But it was me. I was in the way.
Somehow that rejection, self-rejection made you stronger along the way.
Yes, it did.
Right.
Because of what I went through and because of the mistakes or the things that I did that were not good, I realized that I was in the way of my success. I was in the way of my potential. And I had to get out of the way, get out of my comfort zone.
Get out of your own way.
Yes, I had to.
Isn't that true?
Absolutely true.
So I just want to turn a little bit on that, your book. When did you write the book?
I wrote the book I started writing it about in 2016.
Okay.
and
So-
actually published it now in January of 2019.
Very good, very
Yes.
good. And what really is a strongest point that if somebody were to say, this is the main thing out of this book, tells about Rosa?
Okay, the main thing in this book is that I am not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person.
Okay.
And I believe strongly that we're connected with a beautiful, amazing, intelligent force that helps us, that has our back, so to speak. That no matter what our challenges are, we have that connection. And I believe very strongly in meditation. So meditation is a key to opening up where we want to go. What is it that we want to do in life and what we want to attract in our lives. So I'm very strong and very connected to that. And I live by that.
Okay. So that connecting with your higher being and your
Yes.
inner force
Yes.
has really inspired you to be grounded and to
Yes.
believe in yourself.
To believe in myself and to also believe that the only limits that are in front of me are the ones I place there. That I am the one in control of how much I want to accomplish and how much I want to do. It has nothing to do with my blindness. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with me and my higher self. And if I believe that I can do something and I connect with that higher being that I know is there always inside of me, I know that I can accomplish what I want.
You had managed a business
Yes.
for quite some years, and
Yes.
then you are also launching a new business.
I am.
Tell us a little bit.
Yes, I am launching a new business right now. It's called Mariposa Essence, and it is a business that is focused on caring naturally for yourself. Organic products, natural products that are healthy, using ingredients that are not going to hurt us, that make us feel good. In mind, body, and spirit. I am very into essential oils and how essential oils are powerful plants, herbs, flowers that can really help us in our moods and help us in our skin, in our hair. So just all around.
All around.
Yeah. So the business is all about that. It's also helping. It's more focused on women and helping women to see that they have so much. That's why the business has the logo of a butterfly, because I know we can evolve into beautiful thing. Beautiful.
It's the butterfly is the
Yes.
symbol of transformation,
Yes.
and
I have it on my book and my business. I'm
Okay.
totally connected to that butterfly image.
to the butterfly
Yes.
image. Right?
Yes,
Good.
because
That's
it's evolving into transforming your life in every way. You're transforming from doing maybe minimal to now growing and expanding in thought, in spirit, in body, and doing more for yourself that's helping you be a better person.
Rosa, if I were to ask you a single, the biggest emotional barrier you had overcome, except your visual impairment. That
Right.
is. I mean,
Yes.
there's nothing you could do about it. But the
Yes.
emotional barrier. I just want audience to hear that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My most difficult and very emotional, one of the biggest things I had to overcome was living with a man that emotionally battered my soul. It's the only way I can say it. I think those were some of the times that I spent with him were the most darkest times of the soul for me, because of the fact of the just always belittling and making me feel like I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't enough, that no matter what I did, it was never enough for him. So it made me feel just my spirit was dwindling. I talk about this in my book. My spirit was dwindling. My spirit was the flame that I had, because I'm a person that loves to be connected to, I'm spiritual, but I'm also a happy person. I love to look for reasons to feel good. And it was very hard with him to feel good, because there was always a reason why I did something wrong that made me feel bad. And I struggled for years with that. Even when I had my son, I have a son, his name is Gabriel. He's older now, but when I had my son, just even caring for him, it was not enough for him. And I did my best. But for some people, your best is not enough. And it comes to a point where you have to tell yourself, if I keep feeling this, if I keep going through this, I'm going to destroy myself. I've got to find a way to live a different way, or it's going to destroy my life.
So I'm sorry. And sometimes you put it in just the right words. Even the best is not good enough for others. So you have to make sense for yourself. That is that something that you want in your life.
Yes, I had to learn that I was enough. I had to learn, and a lot of things taught me this. I started reading really amazing books by Dr. Wayne W. Dyer, Deepak Chopra, which I admire so much. Books that really opened up my soul to understand that I was enough, that I was the one in control of how I felt.
Wow. Yes.
And they helped me to see that, no, you are beautiful. You're a beautiful human being. If you were brought into this world, despite whatever it is that you've been brought into this world, you are still special. You are still important. You are still a great being.
Rosa, you are special.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, you have an amazing story. And what would you like to achieve? You already have. You already have.
There's still so much more, though.
I'm sure, like, for achievers, they have a list of their own.
Yes. I have a long one.
I'm sure. All right. So what's next on the bucket list?
On my bucket list? Well, there's a lot of things I want to do, but mainly, I'll take you to the really important things that I want to acquire and achieve in my life. I definitely want to write more books.
Okay.
That's one thing I'm definitely on the path towards, is writing more books. I want to be an international speaker and speak both in English and Spanish, because I have been given the gift of speaking both languages, and I can help more people. By knowing 2 languages, I can extend my knowledge and my experience to other people. So it would be great to speak internationally in Spanish countries, as well as speaking in all over America.
Yes.
And just reaching people. I just love people, and I want them to just know that they can do anything they set their mind to, that the only limits that we have are the ones we place in front of ourselves. We have to get rid of that glass ceiling and just keep reaching higher. And that's just my whole life and what I do. I always know that I could do better, that I could be better, and that I could help others to do it too.
You have put out your desire out there in the universe, and you never know.
Yes.
This our show from local, it goes global, and you don't know that who might be listening, and you might be just hearing from them and inviting you as a speaker. My best wishes to you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
If anything that you would like to share for the limited time that we have left for our audiences, that either something that you talk about in your book or from your personal experiences, that what kind of
what would I like to
advice
say? Yes.
or a suggestion you want to give for them to overcome and reach their goals?
Absolutely. One of my favorite quotes by the Buddha is, be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change. If you are a compassionate person, open yourself up to more compassion. If you are a loving person, open yourself up for more love to come into your life and give it out too. Open your heart to love others, and you'll attract that to yourself. My thing is, just be the change that you want to see happen. If you want to see more success, then work on being more successful. Just do that, and you will find that amazing things will happen to you in your life, like they did for me.
I love it. I love it. Be the change you want to see, and it is that we can slice the dice and analyze it any way we want, but unless we have made that change in ourselves, we couldn't expect it from outside.
That's right.
You know,
Right. We have
So-
to. It comes from inside of us. Everything is inside. Happiness is inside. If we are miserable people, we're gonna show that in our outward appearance. We're gonna show that in our
Yes.
lives. So why be miserable? There's always something to be grateful for.
There's always something to be grateful.
Yes.
But you know, grass is always greener on the other pastures. That's the mindset usually would see. There is so much misery, pain, people living in war-torn areas and stuff. So when I think about that is that, you know, yes, those conditions are there.
Yes.
But then you hear the stories of the triumphs, and you hear the stories of that people have overcome amazingly.
Absolutely.
You know, and we need to look at that first.
Yes. And one thing I would like to add is that despite all the things that are happening in the world, you know, we see poverty, we see people with disabilities, but here's the thing. In order for us to help the world be a better place, we have to be better first. And we have to create that success that can enable us to help others. Because if we want to give to others, we have to have in order to give, right?
Absolutely.
So
yes.
we have to have
Pay it
in order to
forward.
give.
Pay it forward.
Yes.
Create
Just
that.
pay it forward.
Create that within you. I am so amazed, and I wish you successful. Your more books to come. Is there
Yes,
anything in the works
definitely.
yet?
They're not, but I'm planning to go to Puerto Rico soon, so it'll be an opportunity for me to sit down and start to write and start creating my new map of what I want to write about in my next book. So yeah, definitely thinking about it.
And Rosa, you are welcome back to our show again. You have something new to share with our audience. You know, I really admire, and always I say that it's just you had put it. You know, but there's a will. There is a way.
Yes,
we have to
absolutely.
find those nuggets
Absolutely,
that have inspired
absolutely.
us. You know, regardless, we all go through. You mentioned Deepak Chopra, Dr.
Wayne
Dyer,
yes.
and others. They teach us as mentors. They tell us sometimes we know, but we don't acknowledge it.
Right, and we don't understand it until they help us.
Correct.
And also for me, there's a lot of mentors because I belong to the National Federation of the Blind, and the state president who's there, he is a mentor for me. He is a very special person to me. I admire him so much because of his tenacity and his ability to help others in so many ways. And he's helped me so much. He's actually helped me grow in these past few years to actually want more and do more. And the organization helps a lot of people who have the blindness to not feel that you're limited. There's technology, there's so many things at our disposal that there's no excuse for us to hold ourselves back anymore.
So you have to get out of your own way in order to realize
Absolutely.
that.
It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with you. We are the ones that have the foundation to do all of this, but it has to come out of us.
Yes. Rosa, we're out of time.
Okay.
Thank you so much and coming
for having
here,
me here.
and having this beautiful friend with you. And
Yes, my
she's
baby
lovely.
girl,
She's
Cheeky.
lovely. And coming and sharing your story with us, and we wish you all the success. And I'm sure that audiences who are listening to your story are inspired. And
Yes.
you're most welcome again to the show.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And for our audience, this was another episode of Despite the Challenges. I'm host Ritu Chopra. Until next time.